It was a sunny day in Tokyo, Japan, and Nobita, a young and curious boy, was sitting in his room, staring at a peculiar-looking book. The book was an old, leather-bound tome with strange symbols etched onto its cover. Nobita's best friend, Doraemon, a robotic cat from the future, was sitting next to him, watching him with interest. "Hey, Nobita, what's that book you are looking at?" Doraemon asked, his eyes scanning the cover of the book. "It's an old book that I found in my grandfather's attic," Nobita replied, his eyes wide with excitement. "I think it's a book about time travel." Doraemon's ears perked up at the mention of time travel. "Let me take a look," he said, reaching out to touch the book. As soon as Doraemon's fingers made contact with the book, the room began to spin and the air was filled with a strange, pulsating energy. Nobita and Doraemon felt themselves being lifted off the ground, and before they knew it, they were transported to time and space. When the energy dissipated, Nobita and Doraemon found themselves standing in the middle of a bustling street in ancient Japan. People in traditional clothing hurried past them, paying no attention to the two time travelers. "Wow, we are actually in ancient Japan," Nobita exclaimed, his eyes wide with wonder. Doraemon nodded, his eyes scanning the surroundings. "Yes, and look, there is a samurai warrior approaching us." The samurai, a tall, imposing figure with a katana at his side, approached Nobita and Doraemon. "Who are you strangers?" he asked, his voice firm but polite. Nobita and Doraemon quickly introduced themselves, and the samurai, whose name was Kaito, invited them to join him on a journey to the Imperial Palace. As they walked, Kaito told them about the history of Japan and the struggles of the people during that time. Nobita and Doraemon listened intently, fascinated by the stories of ancient Japan. When they arrived at the Imperial Palace, they were greeted by the Emperor himself. Nobita and Doraemon were amazed by the grandeur of the palace and the opulence of the Emperor's court. However, their visit was not without incident. A group of bandits who had been causing trouble in the countryside had set their sights on the palace. Nobita and Doraemon, with Kaito's help, joined the Imperial Guards to defend the palace against the bandits. The battle was intense, with swords clashing and arrows flying through the air. Nobita and Doraemon used their quick thinking and cunning to outmaneuver the bandits, while Kaito and the guards fought bravely to protect the palace. In the end, the bandits were defeated and the palace was safe. The Emperor thanked Nobita and Doraemon for their bravery, and Kaito invited them to stay in Japan for a while longer. However, as much as Nobita and Doraemon wanted to stay, they knew that they had to return to their own time. They said goodbye to Kaito and the Emperor, and Doraemon used his time-traveling device to transport them back to their own era. As they stood in Nobita's room, looking back at the book that had started their adventure, Nobita turned to Doraemon and said, "That was the most amazing adventure ever. Can we do it again?" Doraemon smiled, his eyes twinkling with mischief. "I will make sure to bring the time-traveling device next time, Nobita. Who knows where our next adventure will take us?" And with that, the two friends disappeared into the pages of history, ready to face whatever adventures lay ahead. Nobita and Doraemon's time-traveling adventures became the stuff of legend in their neighborhood. People would whisper stories of the two friends who had traveled through time, visiting ancient civilizations and meeting legendary figures. As for Nobita and Doraemon, they continued to explore the depths of time, visiting different eras and meeting new friends along the way. Their adventures took them to ancient Egypt, the Wild West, and even to the far reaches of the galaxy. And through it all, their friendship grew stronger, bound by their shared love of adventure and their insatiable curiosity about the world around them.